Okay, here we go for lesson 4. There's a couple theorems in here that I always tell my students that it's just kind of a lot of words that until you do a few of these problems and test the theorems, it's hard to make sense of them because of the words. But I'm going to write them down for you, make sure you know them. There are going to be a couple questions on quizzes and tests that are going to be easier using those theorems. So we'll make sure to go over those a little bit more in detail before your quiz on Wednesday. Both periods should have their quizzes on Wednesday before lesson 5, which is writing equations. So, anyway, all right, factor theorem is a polynomial f of x has a factor x minus k if and only if f of k is equal to 0. Okay, so what that means is if you take the value of k and substitute it in, then as for x, it should equal 0. If it doesn't, we have the remainder theorem, which is down here. Okay, where the remainder theorem says if you divide a polynomial p of x by a polynomial degree n greater than or equal to 1, n being the value of the degree, by x minus a, then the remainder is p of a. Okay? Alright, so what I want you to do is go ahead and do those first two problems for synthetic division. Okay? We'll talk about, or I'll talk at you, for what synthetic versus long division, and then we are going to review a little bit of long division, do a couple problems, and we should be done for lesson 4. Okay, so go ahead and work through those first two problems. Okay, go ahead and press pause to make sure you know, or so you're doing it by yourself and reviewing instead of just copying things down. Okay, this is what you should have gotten for both of them. The first one yields 0, so that means x minus 1 is a factor, and 1 is a 0 of the solution. The second one, x plus 4, you get negative 128, which means x plus 4 is not a factor. Okay, and what I want you to do in your calculators right now is for this one, go ahead and do f of negative 4. Okay, so that means you're substituting in negative 4 for every x value. Okay, you get the idea. Continue. What you should get is f of negative 4 is equal to negative 128. Okay, and the other one, if you substitute 1 in for x cubed plus 3x squared minus x minus 3, you should get 0. So those show you the factor. This one is factor theorem. This one is remainder theorem. Okay? Now, synthetic versus long division. Synthetic is definitely easier. The problem with synthetic is only used for linear factors. Okay, what that means is factors that we've done where it's x minus 1 or x plus 4, not anything where it's x squared minus 1 or x squared plus 4. Okay? Alright, review of long division. I know you all are so excited. Okay? For long division or division in general, you basically start with your value, okay? And then 21 is what we call the divisor. Okay? And our answer is what we call the quotient. So in polynomials, you'll see this denoted as d of x, and you'll see this as qx. Okay, so long division, we take our divisor, we put it on the outside. So you're thinking about how many times does 21 go into 67? Well, that is 3 times. Okay, 3 times 21 is 63. So we not multiply, we subtract. We get 4, bring down the 2. 21 now goes into 42 2 times. So 32 would be our quotient. Okay? 21 is our divisor, 32 is our quotient. We can take 21 times 32, and that equals 672. Okay? Long division with polynomials. Okay? You're going to take your quotient, your divisor, 2x plus 1, and then your polynomial goes inside, 6x squared plus 7x plus 2. Okay? What you do here is you look at the first term for both. Okay? You're looking to see what multiplies to 2x to get 6x squared. Okay? That is 3x. You want to line it up with the common term. So notice that I line it up above the 7x because it's a common term and not the 6x squared. So 3x times 2x is 6x squared. 3x times 1 is 3x. Now, we're taking this whole expression and subtracting it from the values up above them. Okay? Now, you should always end up with 0 right here. Okay? I don't normally write that, but since you can't see where I'm pointing, I have to write it for you. Okay, and then you have 7x minus 3x. So you get 4x. Okay, next you're going to bring down the 2. Now you're looking for the values, or whatever you have to multiply 2x by to get 4x. 2x times 2 gives you 4x. So 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 1 is 2. You're subtracting this entire value from what is above, and you should get 0. Which means that this is our divisor, and also means that 2x plus 1 is a factor. Okay, so 6x squared, like this, 6x squared plus 7x plus 2 divided by 2x plus 1 is equal to 3x plus 2. Okay, and then if you multiply 2x plus 1 times 3x plus 2, you should get your original. Okay, which also means if you divide out 6x squared plus 7x plus 2 divided by 3x plus 2, you should get 2x plus 1. So if you want to test that, you should. Okay? Alright, flip it over. There's one that's a little bit more complicated. And this asks, is d of x a factor of p of x? So what this is asking is this a factor of this? Okay? So first I want you to identify the p of x, d of x. Okay? Your p of x is 2x to the 4th plus 3x cubed plus 5x plus 1. And your d of x is x squared minus 2x plus 2. You'll notice that your d of x is not a linear factor, so we have to use long division. Okay? So go ahead and set that up. Set it up as well. So you have x squared minus 2x plus 2 on the outside. 2x to the 4th plus 3x cubed. Okay, now you'll notice that the squared term is missing. I think it is very smart to write the 0x squared there so you can keep your work organized. Okay? Alright, first step. Values, what do you multiply x squared by to get 2x to the 4th? Okay, that's going to be 2x squared. If I didn't write that 0x squared, I would have nowhere to put the 2x squared, and I would get lost, and I'd get frustrated, and I would give up. And so instead, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to write the 0x squared and have a place to put my 2x squared. Okay, so 2x squared minus x squared is 2x to the 4th. Multiply 2x squared by negative 2x, and you should get 4x cubed. And 2x squared plus 2, or times positive 2, 4x squared. Now remember, you're subtracting everything here from the top three expressions. Okay, 2x to the 4th minus 2x to the 4th is 0. 3x cubed minus a negative, so we are adding 7x cubed. 0x squared minus 4x squared minus 4x squared. Bring down the 5x. Now you're thinking about what multiplies to x squared to get 7x cubed. You're going to multiply 7x. Okay, 7x times x squared, 7x cubed. 7x times negative 2x, negative 14x squared. And 7x times 2, 14x. Again, subtract. Okay, so you have 7x cubed minus 7x cubed, that's 0x cubed. Negative 4x squared minus a negative 14x squared is a positive 10x squared. 5x minus 14x is negative 9x. Bring down the 1. Okay, x squared times what is equal to 10x squared? So that's going to be 10. Okay, 10 times x squared, 10x squared minus 20x plus 20. Subtract. Okay, you should end up with 11x minus 21. Okay, we don't have any other values to divide out, so 2x squared plus 7x plus 10 is my quotient. And my remainder is 11x minus 21. Okay, if I were to write my answer, well, first off, is d of x a factor of p of x? No, because we didn't get 0. Okay, which means we have a remainder. In order to write, if I were to actually write the answer of this, so 2x to the 4th plus 3x cubed plus 5x minus 1 divided by x squared minus 2x plus 2, that is 2x squared plus 7x plus 10 plus, the way you write your remainder is to take your remainder, 11x minus 21, over your divisor, x squared minus 2x plus 2. So that would be the official answer. Okay? Now if you want to check, you can multiply your d of x times your q of x, and then you add r of x, this being r of x. Okay? Alright, now I want you to go ahead and go down to the next one. Try it on your own, so pause the video. I will have it written up there for you. And then you can do that next problem. Okay, you should have gotten your quotient as y squared plus y plus 2, your remainder as 3. So your answer would be written as y squared plus y plus 2 plus 3 over y squared minus 1, minus y plus 1, sorry. Okay? Alright, next, evaluate p of x with the given x values. Use synthetic division or long division to confirm the remainder. Okay? If you were to use long division, you would need to put it in as a factor. Okay? So in this case, it would be x minus 2 that you would be dividing out. Okay? This one, okay, it's not x minus 1/2. I want you to get in the habit of first multiplying by 2 and then subtracting 1. So this factor would be 2x minus 1. Okay, now for the second one, x equals 1/2, I would actually probably use long division because, well, most of you hate fractions. So if you're good with fractions, by all means, go for it. You can do both. Okay, now what it means, it says evaluate p of x with the given x values. So what you're first doing is p of 2 and figuring out what that equals. Okay, so 4 times 2 cubed minus 2 times 2 squared plus 2 minus 3. And then here you're doing p of 1/2. So that is 4 times 1/2 squared. Oh, not squared, cubed. Minus 2 times 1/2 squared plus 1/2 minus 3. Okay? So go ahead and do that, and then use either synthetic division or long division to confirm. Okay? And the answer is on the key posted to Blackboard. Okay? So make sure you check that. And that takes care of lesson 4. We will go over questions from lessons 3 and 4 next class before we take our lesson 3 and 4 quiz. Okay, so don't worry, we will make sure that we go over things before we take the quiz. Okay? All right, thanks guys.